This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Joining me now is the Executive Director of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, Austin Booth. Thank you for being with us, Austin.
Absolutely, Roby. Good to be here.
We've got some serious issues going on. One that has really got the attention of the commission right now. That involves chronic wasting disease. Before we dive into what the issue is specifically, tell some folks who may not know just exactly what this CWD disease is and what it does.
Chronic wasting disease is a neurological disease that affects what we call cervids, which is the scientific name for the species that include deer and elk. And it's a neurological disease that's caused by a defective prion. And basically what it is it's essentially mad cow disease that impacts deer. Chronic wasting disease is a big deal, not just to the Arkansas deer resource, because we had our first positive in 2016, but chronic wasting disease has been known known in existence for decades out west. So it's relatively new to the state of Arkansas, but not something that's new to the wildlife management community.
Tell me what the latest development is in Arkansas. We have found it in some new places. We have found it in, I believe, some different kind of age population of deer.
Sure. We detected chronic wasting disease in two areas of the state that to some people raised some eyebrows. Like I said, we first discovered chronic wasting disease in 2016 in the northwestern part of the state, but our recent discoveries were in Randolph County and then in Union County back in November. Now, what's noteworthy about those is that some would think that if we manage chronic wasting disease, that any kind of spread that we would see would be from that original northwest corner of Arkansas where we first found it. We were not surprised that we detected chronic wasting disease in Randolph County because Arkansas is just not an island, and Missouri, our neighbor to the north, they've had some positives that were close to our border, and then the one in Union County was harvested on Felsenthal National Wildlife Refuge. And that one did surprise us a little bit. Louisiana has not detected any white-tailed deer that have been positive for chronic wasting disease that close to Arkansas, but we continue our testing efforts there as well.
What type of deer does it affect? Is it the overall population? Do we see it in some specific, again, age groups? Is it by gender? Is it large scale and across all kind of walks of demographics?
Sure, it's a little bit of both. Chronic wasting disease can affect deer of all sexes and ages, but we see more prevalence in older male deer, or bucks, like we call them, and it's a disease that takes a very long time to progress, and oftentimes by the time that an older buck is visibly symptomatic, the deer dies shortly thereafter.
So what can you do about it? Is this a quarantine situation? Is this you got to put them down situation? How do you eradicate chronic wasting disease?
Well, like I said, it's a disease that progresses very slowly. And one of the things that lends itself towards is it takes a very long time for us to gauge what our management practices, what impact those are having on the ground. So hands down, the most important thing that people need to know about it is that they need to keep hunting and that they need to get their deer tested. We love deer hunting in the state of Arkansas. Lots of people in Arkansas love to deer hunt. The most recent data we have said that 75% of Arkansans that deer hunt were satisfied with the deer resource and the way that things were going, and then 63% of Arkansans were satisfied with what we were doing on CWD management practices. So we want people to keep hunting. We want people to get outside, and we want them to get their deer tested, and that will help us understand what's happening on the ground and what further management practices that we should implement.
Is there resistance, I guess, from hunters to having their deer tested? Where does the problem come in terms of the testing aspect of this?
Sure. Well, we certainly had some challenges on the supply chain side, getting testing materials, but every industry, every state, they're seeing that too. But more on the human side of things, the willingness to have your deer tested, we do a pretty good job meeting our testing quotas throughout the state. We're really trying to ramp up the testing efforts in Randolph County and Union County, where there's some more recent positives. But some people are hesitant to it because they're resistant to the idea that chronic wasting disease could be in their backyard where they're hunting, but also that they kill a deer that they're very proud of, and they don't want to go through the legwork, through the trouble of getting their deer tested. And it's effortless. You have to submit a sample. We have free sampling in every single county. If they kill a deer that they want to have mounted, we have licensed taxidermists that they can take their deer to the taxidermist. They can pull the samples and still mount the deer. Like I said, we have testing in every single county, and the quality of our management will be directly connected to how many testing we have.
Yeah, I guess what I hear you saying is you're not going to take their deer away from them, but
That's right.
You need the data that the deer can provide. Is that accurate?
That's exactly right.
All right, Austin Booth, Game and Fish Commission Executive Director. Thank you for your time. Thanks for bringing us up to speed on this.
Thank you, Roby.